I would love to invite you all to begin today on our backs. So I am going to join you and lie back on my mat. You, of course, can take any position that feels comfortable for you. You might take a reclined bound angle pose with the soles of your feet touching and knees falling out to the sides. Alternatively, you might take constructive rest, walking feet out to the edges of the mat and letting your knees fall together in the center. Just finding a shape that works for your body today, that feels comfortable for you. Beginning to settle into this moment, into your space, into your body. Feeling the body breathing itself in this moment. Feeling the air on your skin, the sensation of the clothing contacting your body, feeling your body as it breathes, feeling the points of contact between your body and your mat, the earth here, allowing your body to be heavy, surrendering to the mat just for a short time. Nowhere to be, nothing to do at this time other than take care of yourself. Relaxing the brow, softening the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, softening the belly, surrendering the hips, taking a deep breath in and exhaling, letting something go. Breathing deeply in once again. And breathing out. And one more time. Breathing deeply in and out. Releasing something that's ready to go in this moment. And allowing your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Noticing the expansion of the chest and or belly on your inhale. Just taking a moment to notice how your body feels right now. Bringing gentle, loving awareness to any parts of the body that are feeling tight or tender or sore or uncomfortable. Simply acknowledging your experience in this moment. Taking now a moment to set an intention for today's class. Perhaps the intention to forgive yourself or another. Perhaps the intention to give yourself the gift of this time just for you. Whatever feels most supportive for you in this moment. And throughout today's class, I invite you to find your edge and perhaps even back away from it just a bit. This class is intended to be gentle, not to strain or stress the body mind. If you notice that you're holding your breath or that the breath is uneven, this is a good sign to just back away from our edge a bit, finding that balance between ease and effort in the practice. Beginning to awaken through the fingers and the toes as we start moving into the physical asana practice today. Beginning by hugging the knees into the chest, rocking back and forth, finding a bit of movement in the body, awakening the hips, the low back, extending left leg long on the mat, and drawing right knee into the chest. Breathing deeply in to the hips and exhaling. Breathing deeply in once more. And on the exhale, bringing left hand to the right knee and taking a gentle twist, bringing right knee across the body. Might stretch that right arm out. Inhaling back to center, drawing left knee into the chest to meet the right, and extending right leg onto the mat, reaching long, hugging left knee into the chest. Inhaling deeply, exhaling, inhaling once more, and exhaling, bringing right hand to left knee and taking that gentle twist on our left side now, bringing left knee across the body, looking gently over left shoulder, and coming back to center, hugging both knees into the chest once more, giving yourself a little bit of rocking back and forth here. Placing now both feet on the mat about hip distance apart, pressing hands and arms into the mat. We will roll into bridge, so lifting hips, rolling up one vertebra at a time as we inhale, and exhaling, unfurling the spine one vertebra at a time. Once more, inhaling hips to the sky, exhaling hips to the mat. And one more time, inhaling hips to the sky, feeling the strength in the back body, in the glutes, the legs, the back, and exhaling hips to the mat, one vertebra at a time. Extending now, legs long on the mat, arms long above the head, and walking legs over to the left side of the mat, maybe even hooking the right ankle over the left, and grasping right wrist with left hand, walking hands over to the left side of the mat as well for a little banana stretch, one of my favorites. Breathing deeply into the right side body, finding some opening here. And coming back through center, reaching arms and legs long, finding length in that spine, and walking now both feet over to the right side, perhaps hooking left ankle on left wrist with right hand, bringing those hands over to the right side of the mat, and breathing deeply in as you find an opening through the left side body. And coming back through center, stretching long, and rolling to one side, taking a moment here, savoring the transition before using our hands to press us up to seated. And we will continue to warm the body up just a bit here. So, warming up the neck, dropping chin to chest, and just taking a few gentle half circles, working out maybe a kink or two, allowing the snap, crackle, and pop. And coming back through center, dropping now right ear to right shoulder, and walking left fingertips out to the side, breathing deeply into the left side of the neck. And inhaling through center, dropping now left ear to left shoulder, walking right fingertips to the right side of the mat. And inhaling through center, circling out the wrists and switching directions, perhaps clasping the hands and making a circle, and taking the other direction, loosening up through those carpal tunnel areas of the wrist. Taking now left hand to the mat and sweeping right arm overhead, perhaps walking those left fingers out as we reach to the left side and open up through the right side body. And inhaling through center, bringing right hand to the mat and sweeping left arm over, finding that opening on the left side as well. And inhaling through center, bringing now left hand to right knee and placing right hand behind, gently looking over that right shoulder, just taking a gentle twist here, bringing out the spine. And coming back to center, bringing right hand now to left knee, bringing left hand behind, and looking gently over the left shoulder. And coming back through center. Bringing now the soles of the feet together in front of us on the mat. Feet can be as far away from the hips as is needed to be comfortable in this position. If this does not work for your body, you are also welcome to take a cross-legged position or any other seated position that works for your body. Drawing the spine long, crown toward the sky, breathing deeply in here, and on an exhale, beginning to draw the chest toward the toes. Spine is long. You might walk fingers forward just a bit, finding a little bit of length in the spine, breathing into those hips, into that low back. Walking fingers over to the left, finding a bit of additional opening in that right hip. And walking back through center, coming now to the right side, allowing the left hip to continue to open. And coming back to center, we will now meet in tabletop position. So on all fours, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll continue activating the body, activating the spine with a little cat-cow action here. So inhaling, tailbone draws up toward the ceiling, heart opens forward, looking up. Exhaling, arching through the spine, tail tucks, puffing up through the shoulder blades. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. Inhaling, cow. Exhaling, cat. And inhaling back to table, lengthening through the spine, tail and crown reach away from one another. Looking over the left shoulder, bringing left hip toward left shoulder and breathing deeply into the right side body. Inhaling through center and exhaling, looking over right shoulder, right hip and right shoulder come toward one another, breathing deeply into left side body. And coming back through center. Inhaling and stepping the right foot behind, and then crossing the right foot behind the left leg. Then turning to look over the left shoulder at those right toes, continuing to unstick through the right side of the body. Feeling the sensations in that hip, in those ribs, and exhaling, returning to table. Inhaling now, left toes behind, and crossing those left toes behind the right leg, turning over the right shoulder, taking a peek at those left toes now, breathing deeply into left side body. And returning to center, bringing big toes to touch and knees as wide as the mat. We will take our first child's pose of the day. So sitting hips back as far as is comfortable for your body. So you might remain here. You might sit hips all the way back. You might walk fingers forward on the mat, letting the hips be heavy. Breathing deeply into those hips here. And pressing back up to table. Inhaling, right arm up to the sky. And exhaling, threading the needle, bringing right arm behind left hand, behind left wrist. Right shoulder to the mat, right ear to the mat. You might walk those left fingers forward, breathing into that right shoulder as it opens, as it unsticks. Bringing left hand under the left shoulder, pressing up, inhaling, right arm up to the sky, and exhaling, right hand back to the mat. Inhaling now, left arm to the sky, and exhaling, threading the needle, bringing that left arm behind the right wrist, left shoulder, left ear to the mat, perhaps walking that right hand forward, opening up through the shoulder. Noticing the difference between this side and the first side. Placing right hand back under the right shoulder, pressing up, inhaling, left arm to the sky, and exhaling, left hand to the mat. Inhaling, stepping right foot forward as many steps as it takes. If you need to help yourself get that foot up there, it is all good. Perhaps bending and straightening that front knee, waking up through the joints, and then settling into a low lunge here. Hips are heavy, breathing deeply into those hips. And on the next exhale, sitting hips back into a half split. You might keep the front knee bent as much as is needed, opening up through the back of that leg, opening up the hamstrings, breathing deeply into this space. And returning to our low lunge, letting those hips really be heavy here. Planting left hand on the mat and sweeping right arm up to the sky, gently twisting in our low lunge. And bringing right hand back to the mat, stepping right foot back into table, taking a moment here to feel the sensations in the body, lengthen through the spine. Notice the difference between the sides of the body. And now stepping left foot forward, helping yourself as much as is needed to get that foot up there. Taking a few bend and straighten motions here on the left side to wake up those joints. And settling into low lunge on the left side. Hips are heavy. Breathing deeply into those hips. And on the next exhale, sitting hips back into half split on the second side. Noticing, forgiving the differences between our sides here, honoring your body's needs in this moment, on this side, taking the shape that feels best for your body. And coming back to low lunge, hips are heavy, breathing into those hips here. And inhaling, sweeping left arm up to the sky, twisting open, breathing into the hips. And returning left hand to the mat, stepping now right foot to the top of the mat to meet your left foot in a forward fold. Inhaling, lifting up halfway, bringing hands to the shins, really lengthening through that spine, through the crown of the head, feeling the spine traction here. And exhaling, forward folding. And now inhaling and rolling up one vertebra at a time to a standing position. Inhaling, sweeping the arms up above the head for mountain pose. Feet are hip distance apart, or perhaps big toes come to touch. Grounding through all four corners of the feet. Thighs, legs, glutes are active, core is active, shoulders drop away from the ears, fingertips reach toward the sky. Strong and steady here in our mountain pose. Taking now right hand to the left wrist and side bending, half moon, opening through the left side. Breathing into that side body. And inhaling through center. Grasping now right wrist with left hand, taking half moon on the second side. And inhaling through center. Shifting weight into the left foot and raising right foot off the mat for one-legged mountain. Feeling the strength of your left leg, engaging the core. Spine is long here. And on the next exhale, sweeping arms and legs behind us for airplane. Feeling the wobble, embracing the wobble. Stepping now, right toes behind for crescent. Sweeping arms up to the sky. You might take a few bends in the back knee here to continue opening up through those hips. Hips square toward the front of the mat, and feet are hip distance apart, so thinking train tracks and not a tightrope here. We want to have a solid foundation for our crescent. Inhaling, feeling the strength of our legs, the strength of our spine. Breathing deeply in, and on the exhale, opening up to warrior two, spinning the right foot flat, lunging into the left knee, Left fingers reach forward, right fingers reach behind, gazing over those left fingers. Spine is long, chest opens to the right side of the mat here. And now flipping the front palm and reaching up and back with the left hand. Right hand comes to the right thigh, looking up at those fingertips for reverse warrior. And exhaling back to warrior two, keeping the lunge. Bringing now left forearm to left thigh and sweeping the right arm overhead for extended side angle pose. You might turn to look up at the elbow or the fingertips, or if it feels better on your neck, simply gazing forward. Chest and torso open to the right side of the mat. Breathing into that right side body. And now, inhaling, sweeping left arm up to the sky and straightening the front leg for reverse warrior. Finding length in the left side body now. Exhaling and bringing arms back to that warrior two shape. Left arm stretches forward, right arm stretches back. Reaching forward with the left arm and then tick-tocking the arms to find triangle pose. So that left hand might come to your shin, ankle, the mat, whatever feels best on your body. You might use a block to raise the floor to you. Gaze can be down at the mat. It might be in front of you, or you might turn to look up at your right fingers. And now inhaling back to reverse triangle, stretching out that left side body once more. Exhaling, turning to bring both hands to the mat to frame the left foot in low lunge. If you would like to drop back knee to the mat, please feel free to do so, or you might raise back knee off the mat. Breathing into those hips, planting right hand on the mat, inhaling, left fingers to the sky for a nice twist here. And placing left hand on the mat, finding that low lunge once more for a moment. Stepping now right foot up to the top of the mat to meet left in halfway lift, breathing deeply in and exhaling forward fold. Inhaling back to mountain pose. Strong legs, strong feet, strong core, shoulders soft, fingertips reach toward the sky. Growing tall, steady, and strong in our mountain pose. Shifting weight to the right foot and inhaling left foot off the ground for one-legged mountain. Feeling the strength of that right leg supporting you. And on your next exhale, sweeping legs and arms behind you for airplane, embracing the wobble. And stepping now, left toes back into crescent lunge, sweeping arms up above the head, perhaps bending and straightening that back knee a few times, and settling into your crescent. And exhaling, opening to left side of the mat. Left heel spins down to the mat. Right fingertips reach forward, left fingertips reach back, lunging into that front leg, gazing over the front fingers. Warrior two. Flipping the front palm and sweeping the right arm up and back. Left fingertips rest on the left thigh, gazing up for reverse warrior. And exhaling back to warrior two, committing to the lunge in that front leg at whatever level feels best for you. Bringing now right forearm to right thigh and sweeping the left arm up and over for extended side angle on the second side. Inhaling, straightening front leg, sweeping right arm up and back for reverse triangle. And exhaling, preparing for triangle, reaching right fingertips forward, left fingertips back, and beginning to reach forward before tick-tocking the arms and finding your triangle on the second side. Placing hand where it works for your body today. Placing gaze where it works for your body today. And inhaling, sweeping all the way up and back into reverse triangle once more. And exhaling, bringing both hands to the mat, framing the right foot. Coming back into low lunge. You may drop to that back knee if that feels better. Here. Planting left hand on the mat. Inhaling, right hand to the sky. Twisting it out, wringing it out. Bringing right hand back to the mat. Stepping left foot to the top of the mat to meet the right. Finding a forward fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhaling, forward folding. And inhaling to mountain pose. We'll take that flow one more time, and this time we'll go breath to movement, so it'll go a little bit quicker. So shifting weight into the left foot, inhaling, right foot up for one-legged mountain. Exhaling, sweeping arms and legs back. For airplane, inhaling into crescent, exhaling warrior two, inhaling reverse warrior, exhaling back to warrior two, inhaling extended side angle, exhaling reverse triangle, inhaling preparing for triangle, exhaling into triangle, inhaling back to reverse triangle, exhaling to low lunge, inhaling to twist, exhaling to low lunge, inhaling top of mat, exhale forward fold, inhale halfway lift, exhale forward fold, inhale up to mountain, exhale strong and steady in our mountain pose. Shifting weight to the right foot, inhaling left foot up for one-legged mountain, exhaling sweeping arms and left leg behind for airplane. Inhaling landing in crescent, exhaling warrior two, inhaling reverse warrior, exhaling warrior two, inhaling extended side angle, exhaling reverse triangle. Inhale, prepare for triangle, exhale, triangle, inhale back to reverse triangle, exhale to low lunge, inhale and twist, exhale to low lunge, inhale, step left foot to meet right at the top of the mat, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold, inhale, mountain pose, exhale, feel the strength of your body here in this moment, in this practice. And exhaling back to forward fold. Inhaling halfway lift once more. Exhale, forward fold, step back to plank or table. And exhale, lift hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to observe the body, observe the breath. Just noticing your own experience, observing the dance of aliveness in your body, and coming back into table. Bringing big toes to touch, knees come as wide as the mat, hips sit back, walking the hands forward for child's pose. Breathing deeply into those hips, that low back. Coming back through table, and then lowering gently onto the belly, bringing hands underneath the shoulders, legs reach long behind, engaging the thighs, pressing all five toes into the mat, and gently coming into cobra, raising chest off the floor, feeling the strength of the back body here. And releasing forehead to the mat, extending arms along the sides of the body, inhaling arms, feet, chest, head off the mat all at once for locust pose. You might grasp hands behind the back if that feels good to you. And releasing hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing back through table, back into child's pose. Simply observe the body, observing the sensations, the changing sensations, perhaps observing how this child's pose feels different in the body than the first child's pose that we took of our practice. Pressing back to table, stepping now the right foot forward into low lunge, letting those hips really get heavy here. Walking the right foot to the outside of the mat, bringing right hand inside that right foot. You might stay here, or you might drop that right knee open, keeping the right foot engaged to protect the knee. You might stay here. You might also find your way down onto forearms, simply finding the shape that works for your body, that feels supportive for you today. No matter the shape you're taking, breathing deeply into those hips, allowing something to go here. And if you're on forearms, pressing up to your hands, walking the right foot back between the hands, back to our low lunge. Stepping right foot back into table, taking a moment here, lengthening through the spine, observing the sensations of the body, observing one side feeling different from the other side. Stepping now left foot forward in between the hands, finding that low lunge, really letting those hips get heavy here. Walking now left foot out to the side of the mat, bringing left hand inside the left foot. You might stay here or drop that left knee out to the side, keeping the left foot engaged, protecting that knee. You might stay here or you might drop to forearms on this side. Noticing what is different between this side and the first side. Allowing for that difference. Honoring where your body is today. Really breathing into those hips and letting something go here. If you're on forearms, pressing back up to your hands, walking that left foot back in between the hands, finding your low lunge one last time. Stepping left foot back into table, bringing big toes to touch, knees as wide as the mat, sitting back for one last child's pose. And now pressing back up through table and making your way to your back to your back, however feels most supportive to you. And once you're there, drawing knees into the chest, perhaps rocking back and forth, finding some movement here. Dropping both feet to the mat, feet hip distance apart. Taking a deep breath in, exhaling completely. Inhaling, lifting hips toward the sky. Finding bridge pose once more. Feeling the strength of your back body. Noticing how this bridge feels in your body after our practice today, or towards the end of it anyway. And exhaling, rolling the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Drawing knees back into chest. Extending left leg long on the mat. Hugging right knee in. Bringing right knee to meet left. Hugging both knees in. Reaching right leg long now. Hugging left knee into the chest. Hugging both knees in. Placing both feet back on the floor. Placing now right ankle on top of the left thigh. You might stay here, or you might draw the whole shape toward your chest, holding behind the thigh or in front of the shin on that left side. Breathing deeply into the right hip here in this figure four. And releasing left foot to the floor, placing right foot back on the floor. Taking a moment here, breathing deeply in and letting it go. Bringing now left ankle on top of the right thigh. You might stay here or draw that entire shape toward the chest, grasping right thigh or perhaps around the right shin. Breathing deeply into the left hip here. And releasing right foot back to the floor, releasing left foot to the floor. Walking feet to the outsides of the mat and letting knees fall together, finding a little bit of release for the low back. And now bringing arms to the sides and allowing both knees to drop to the right and inhaling them through center, dropping to the left, coming back through center, and windshield wiping with the legs here just a few times to release any tension that has built up in that low back and the hips throughout our practice today. Before coming back to center, drawing knees into the chest one last time, squeezing everything in, sealing the practice, and releasing. Legs go long on the mat, arms can be long beside you, finding your Shavasana. Many yoga teachers tell us that Shavasana is the most important asana because this is where we integrate all of the work we've done in our practice into our bodies, into our minds, into our nervous systems. Relaxing the brow, the jaw, the shoulders, the belly, and the hips. Allowing the body to melt into the mat on each exhale so that your yoga can melt into you. You might envision or visualize a light glowing at your heart center, noticing the color, the quality, the brightness, and envisioning or imagining that on each inhale, this light grows brighter, richer, and on each exhale, the light grows to encompass more of the body until finally the whole body mind is cocooned in this beautiful healing light, creating a safe space, a refuge just for you. Offering gratitude to your sweet body, your home in this life that has carried you through so very much today, this week, this year. Thank you, hands. Thank you, feet. Thank you, back. Thank you, neck. Thank you, eyes and ears, nose, mouth, and tongue. Thank you, legs and arms. Thank you, skin. Thank you, muscles. Thank you, nervous system, veins and arteries, lymphatic system. Thank you, brain, heart, lungs. Thank you, stomach, reproductive organs, and digestive system. And now, before we close our practice together, I invite you to offer a practice of gratitude, a practice of loving kindness for yourself, perhaps placing one hand on the chest, on the heart center, and the other hand on the belly. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live my days with ease. And turning now this powerful intention to the entire world, may all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings live with ease. And now, beginning to reawaken through the fingers and the toes, reaching arms long, reaching legs long, breathing deeply in, exhaling, drawing knees to the chest and rolling to one side, pausing here, savoring the transition, using the strength of your arms to press you up to a seated position. Taking a moment to notice how you're feeling after your practice. I hope you feel a little bit restored. It has been my absolute pleasure to practice with y'all today, and I hope to see you again next month. So, thank you for joining me, and namaste.